Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel T-Spot. In this video, 6 seasons of Outlander, but still, there's yet to be an exact explanation of how time travel works. We have been getting clues every now and then. I know for sure what is necessary for time travel to happen. But there are also a lot of unexplained aspects of this supernatural part of the show that I decided to bring together everything I know about this subject. How does time travel work in Outlander? Who can time travel? When and where the travel becomes possible? Will we learn more about it in Season 7? Let me answer all these questions one by one. This discussion will be about the show only. Still, I will use the books to support some arguments without going into spoiler territory. Let's start with the most basic question. Who can time travel in Outlander? The first time traveler we saw in the show was, of course, Claire. And as the seasons went by, it was proven that she was not the only time traveler. We learned that genetics play a significant part in who can travel through time. I and most fans now believe that it is an inherited trait. Claire can time travel, and so can her daughter, Bree, and her grandchildren, Jamie and Mandy. The same goes for Roger. He can time travel because of his ancestor, Galus Duncan. Jamie cannot travel because his ancestors don't have the inherited trait for it. Most of you might have thought the person we saw in front of Claire's window in Season 1 proves Jamie's ability to time travel, but that's not correct. Deanna Gabaldon said that Jamie's ghost, not his actual self, stood before Claire's window that day. As for Jamie's dreams, which we keep witnessing in Season 7, Gabaldon gave another exciting explanation. Jamie has the ability of second sight, which is a supernatural phenomenon well established in Celtic cultures. So it doesn't have anything to do with time travel. Anyways, the time travelers we saw in the show were Claire, Bree, Roger, and their children. Galus Duncan and the Native Americans who came from the future to warn their ancestors. These included Ottertooth, the ghost that helped Claire in Outlander Season 4, Wendigo Donner, and their 3 friends who we didn't see on the show but heard about. The mysterious Master Raymond, the herbalist Claire met in Paris, is also a time traveler. He is thought to be an ancestor of both Claire and Gillis. Some people even wondered if he was Claire's father, but I don't know much about that. Diana Gabaldon said that Master Raymond traveled from 400 BC, so he is a prehistoric traveler. There's also a theory that another character we saw in Season 2, Comte Saint-Germain, is also a time traveler, but this was never proven in the show. To learn more about him and his story, read the Outlander spin-off, The Space Between. Now, let me move on to another critical question. Where can a person travel through time? Well, if you have been watching the show since Season 1, you'll know that we saw 3 locations that enabled time travel. In the first episode, this was Cranadune, an ancient stone circle near Inverness, Scotland. In Season 3, we saw another location called Abandaway, which had an ancient cave with stone circles around it. The cave even had a lake inside that Gillis was trying to use as a portal. Later in the show, we also saw Ocracoke, the stone circles Roger and Brianna first tried to use in Season 5 and successfully used in Season 7. This location is in North Carolina. These 3 are the only portals we see on the screen in the show, but more portals exist in the Outlander books. In A Breath of Snow and Ashes, Wendigo Donner says Ocracoke is part of a more extensive network of portals, meaning many other portals exist in America. Master Raymond, too, says that Ocracoke is safer than other portals in the region because it is marked with stones. This means some portals do not have stones around them. Now that I talked about the who and the where of time travel in Outlander, I can talk about the when. When is time travel possible? The issue of when this is possible differs in the books and the show. In the Outlander books, we know the specific days when all the time travels happen, but in the show, when the portals open are not precisely specified. In the books, for instance, we know that Claire first travels on the day of Beltane, the Gallic May Day festival. The time travel we witnessed in Season 7. Episode 2 happens on November 1, the date of Samhain, another Gallic festival that marks the beginning of winter. All the other travels, too, happen on important days. For example, Roger first travels to find Brianna during the summer solstice. But as I said, the show has taken liberties with this time travel aspect. And we don't really know when was the time Roger and Bree traveled, for example. Let's assume you have a genetic trait to time travel. You found one of the stone circles and even got the time right. What else do you need to travel through the stones? As the show clarified, you need a gemstone to travel safely. When Claire first traveled, she had a stone in her watch. The second time she traveled, she had a gem on her ring that Jamie had given her. Galas believed the person traveling also needed to make a blood sacrifice, but no other time traveler needed something like that. So she was being extra careful, I guess. But even if there were gemstones, there could be other obstacles to time travel. Why couldn't Bree and Roger travel in Season 5? Or at the end of Season 7, Episode 2, when Wendy O'Donnell spoke to Claire about his recent failed attempt at time travel, what was the reason? When they could not travel, Brang and Roger said that they were thinking about home when they were at the Stones. This means their home was in the past at that time. So the person's mindset is quite essential when they are traveling. Perhaps the Stones know when a person is supposed to travel. Bree and Roger had unfinished business in the past, so they were not ready to travel yet. They did help Claire after she was attacked and fulfilled their role in the past. As for Wendigo, he told Claire that he was drunk while he attempted to go through the Stones. But Claire said he needed to have a clear mind to travel safely. He had to think about where he wanted to go and focus. That was her explanation. There is also another theory started by Claire herself. When she was talking to Gala in Season 3, Claire said that there has to be someone on the other side of the stones that draw you to them. Claire believes even before she met Jamie, their destiny and their love attracted Claire to the Stones and to the past. So they have this love that translates and sends time and space. So when she first traveled, Jamie was unknowingly waiting for her. When Bree traveled, she had Claire in the past. And when Roger traveled, Bree was there in the past. But I don't think this happens at each time travel because who was waiting in the last instance when Roger and Bree traveled to the future? Orca was waiting for Wendy Godwanner when he first came to the past. His ancestors? I'm not sure. It seems time travel happens thanks to a mix of different factors. Let's do a quick review. What is necessary for time travel in the Outlander universe? The person has to have the genetic ability to time travel. They have to be near a portal. They must travel during certain times of the year, at least in the books. They must carry a gemstone to safely travel. They have to think clearly and should not be drunk or drugged. A person or a purpose waiting for them on either side of the portals could affect whether or not they can travel. The final question I said I would discuss is whether this issue will be touched on in Season 7. The 7th episode of this season is called A Practical Guide for Time Travelers. This refers to Roger and Bree's notebook in the Outlander books, where they put down everything they know about time travel, including their theories. So this episode could give us more explanations about how time travel works. There's also the issue of whether time travelers can change the past. My short answer is no, they cannot. If you want to see my longer explanation, write down in the comments below. I will be back to explain other Outlander mysteries. Until then, tell me what you want to learn and share your theories with me. Are there other explanations for time travel? Why can Wendy Godwanner or Bray and Roger couldn't time travel? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.